what's up? So this is continuations of web service testing through Postman, and this is the third video which we are going to see some more API, like how we can test the service through Postman, right? So before to start, I come from mechanical background and I work as a software engineer. I have my Facebook page and YouTube channel, so you guys can subscribe my channel so that you'll have access to all my videos, and my GitHub locations will have all the source code which I have done earlier, right? So let me show you with some other calls where we will talk about. So generally we know about let's say e-commerce site. So every e-commerce site, what you have is you have menu items: women's, men's, kids wear, and let's say home and kitchens, right? So in your company, you will get one endpoint URL for the get call. So we need to understand in the post call, we need to have the payload, which means the data which we are going to post to the server. But when we say get call generally does not requires any payload. I mean, generally it does not requires any data for the get call. So for the get call, we can directly hit the endpoint of the service and we will get all the informations from the server, right? So this is get call. You will get a URL like this is a get call, and even a developer will tell you which one is the get call and which one is the post call and which one is a delete call. So this is get call. Copy from here, then come to your Postman. In Postman, click on here plus button. Additional window will get added, and then here select actually post call, and then paste the URL here. So when we paste this endpoint URL, when you say send, so when you say send, what happens is you can see that this is the response. So it's a huge response you are getting. So here click on text and click on JSON. JSON means key value pair. So you will get response like this. Let me expand that if I can. Oh, I think I can't. So I can just scroll that. So you can see here, this is a huge response which you are getting. This is the categories ID, categories name, women. Inside the women you have a categories called sort by category 1. In the women you have a category ID 9 ethnic wear. Women category ID 10 is equal to western wear. So these are the product actually. So any e-commerce site will have this, right? Women has fashion and accessories. So these are the category you have in a women. So in women also you have precious jewelry. In women also you have designer wear. Women's also have inner wear. So this is the response you are getting of the API, right? Now you can see the response and you can make sure that whether this category is available for women or not. If you scroll down, so since this is the menu options you will get for everything. So I'm just scrolling down to see that anything is there apart from women section. So it's going down slowly. Now it's a men's section. It's a no, men's and kids. So kids you have baby care, kids you have fashion accessories. So kids also you have fashion accessories, kids also you have bags and handbags, kids also you have bed and nursery, right? So these are the sections you have for the kids. Again you have kids, ethnic sets and new arrival. So these are the sections you have for the kids, and this you are getting as a part of a response. So let me copy this. When you click on this this double, which you can see that white paper, response will get copied. You come to your notepad and we can paste the response here. So I'm just pasting the response here. This is the response. So let me, it's a huge response. Or let me do control Z from here. You can in your browser you can look for JSON formatter, and you can paste the response here. So when you paste the response here, this is the JSON formatter, and when you click on process, so what happens, it will get formatted properly in the JSON format. It's a key value format. So it will take some time because the response is very big, and you can see that now your response got formatted, and this is your response. So your response will look like this. So this is your response. You have categories ID, category name, and sort by category. So this is a huge response you have which is coming from the server. Every if you look at every sections, you will have something called vmin, event id, and let's say unstitched suits actually. So let me copy this category. Why I'm copying it, I will show you. So I will copy this from my response, and let me close that. Then what I will do, I will go to my notepad and I will just paste only this much, only this response. Now what I want is, I want to buy a certain product, right? I want to buy certain product. So what I will do that, if you look at this payload, this is for search product, this is for get all the menu item. Now I want to search for the specific product through service. How do I do that, right? So the endpoint for that is, what you will get in your company is, I'll just paste it. You'll get like this, and this is your endpoint. So after this com, you have to replace this endpoint. Yeah. So this you will get as an endpoint, which means this is the service endpoint. Like this is the endpoint we are going to hit, and it's a post call, right? The host is this content type application slash JSON, cache control no cache. So this is not required. You can just delete this. This is not important. Now this is the payload. So when you want to search some item, you need to know the event ID, right? And how do you know the event ID? So first let me copy this endpoint URL from here. It's a post call, so we will go to the postman. We will add one more here section for the post call. So I am going to add one more post call. I will give the URL here, and then since this is a post call, we need to supply the body. So click on the body and click on the raw here, make it to the JSON because it's a JSON payload, and we will get the payload from here. So this is our payload. Copy this payload. Now one second. Yeah, so now if you look at, it has an event ID. How do we get a event ID? Event ID we can get it from here. So from first response, like wherever we are making the call for all menus, from that response we can get a event ID. Like for that particular, so let's say this event ID vmin event ID 2522, right? So or let's say vmin event ID 2648. So this event ID. So when we have this event ID, when we try to search the product, we should get this information. So take this event ID from the first call, which is nothing but your login call. So take this event ID, come to your search API. This is your search API. Supply here event ID, right? So I am supplying this 2648. So if you go to the previous call, it's getting reset very fast. So click on JSON again, it will come back. So 2648 for semi-stitched suits. Now come here and make a just make a send call. So when you send, what happens is you should receive a response for the informations about that. So let me look at the response. Yeah, so I can see that this is the response for that particular product. One second, let me scroll it up bit. It looks very small here. Yeah, so response is equal to success product banner URL. So this is the URL of the product which I am looking for, and this product has, this is the informations. So web shop is equal to this, title is equal to this, brand ID is equal to this, brand code is equal to this, brand name is equal to this. So for this event ID, whatever event ID we have in the previous call, that particular event ID has this informations. And also you will come to about, so let me copy this response from here. Response got copied. Come to the postman, better easily we can see in the postman, and it is a good way to see the response here. Either you can see there, or you can see it here. So let me process. When we process, we can see the response here itself. Like you will get lot of informations regarding that event, okay, and this everything comes from the server. Then you can make sure that whatever response you are getting, it's right or wrong. So you can see that this is the success: product listing, brand URL, source, brand ID, you will get the price, offer price, available, right? So these are the informations you will get about the event ID, like whatever event ID we have supplied, right? For that particular event has this many actually products, right? So every product will have a price also. Now we can validate that, like okay, for that particular event, whatever product we are getting, whether the price is correct or not. Because let's say in the UI, when you select a vmin, in the vmin when you go for let's say jackets, so there's a lot of jackets, right? So in the vmin, jacket is a event. Now for that jackets event, you have lot of jackets inside. That's how we are getting the response. Like for that event, you have lot of uh, product inside. Now you can go one by one and you can verify that the informations which is coming in the response is right or wrong. That's how we verify, right? So what I did first, I did a get menu, I took a event ID for that particular products, and then for that event ID I'm looking for how many products we have inside. So let's say event ID can be your let's say clothes, let's say shirts, men section. Let's say if you get event ID for the main section shirts, right? So inside the shirts you'll have a lot of shirts, right? So this will give you the entire informations for that event ID. So that's how we get a response from one call, we supply to the other call, and we get the informations, right? So let me save this. How we can save it, this is also important part. You can just save this, and this is nothing but your search new menu. So remove this, this is not required. And in here you can just select the previous one, so that it will store in the same API. So I can go for project one, there I want to store, select here project one, click on save. This will get saved there. Then again for this also we can save. So click on this, click on save, and here it's a search API. Remove this, search new products. You can add that word API if you want. The product one is selected here, click on save. So all three payload will get saved here. And let's say if you close from here, now you will not lose the data because it's already saved to your postman. Close that. Yeah, so all three I closed. All three, you can see that inside the project one you have all three payload here. Now let me close this one also. When I close this postman, I will not lose the data because it's a Chrome plugin. Now once we open the Chrome, let it open. Here we can go to the add-on section of the postman. So if you click on this apps, click on that show apps. It is bit slow, my system is today bit slow. So when you click on that, it will say take some time to load all the apps. So this postman, click on this postman. When we click on the postman, your postman will be loaded, and whatever informations we have saved, it will get retrieved again. So wait for some time. It is loading the information. Usually you will not get this much slow, it goes very fast when you open the postman. It's taking more time. Resolving transport buffer, I should come now. Opening control value of meter, man celsius. Oh, this is long. No problem, guys. I will close with this video, and second video I can show you once it is launched, like how it looks like and how it will preserve the data. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching this. Like my video and subscribe my channel. Thank you once again.